his work is finished. He has spoken this hope to me. Though the sun had ceased its shining, though the war appeared as lost, Christ had triumphed over evil. It was finished upon that cross. Now the curse, it has been broken. Jesus paid the price for me, for the pardon he.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to learn all of your names today. Howie, thank you for coming. It's great to see you here. That guy, every note he plays and sings today, he composed it. I don't get how one does that. It's a magic trick, but he's the best. Welcome back, Brian Clark.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Well, I woke up this morning at the crack of noon. I zigzagged my way across the living room. Through a haze of coffee, I gazed out upon the scene. And I asked myself, is this my life or is it just the way it seemed? And the more I thought about the circumstances, the worse it seemed to be. I was bouncing like a beach ball on the beach of broken dreams. And looking in the mirror, a voice inside me said, you got to get those hands around your thoughts inside your head. And as you believe, it will be done. As you believe, it will be done. As you believe. I was knocking on my baby's door and it was late one night. There were voices in the darkness saying something wasn't right. And through a crack in the door she said, baby boy, won't you just go home, 'cause now's not a good time, and anyway I'm not alone. And I backed away in silence, tears rolling down my face. I was wondering, what did I do to end up in such a place? It's like endless mental torture. It's like a recurring broken dream. It's like a bowling ball of humiliation, knocking down my self-esteem. As you believe, it will be done. As you believe, it will be done. As you believe. Now all those same situations coming time and time again, do they seem to be a part of you, almost like your middle name? And you know you want to change it, but somehow it doesn't change. And you have water in your basement every time it rains. Well, it's then we must decide which way we want to go. Back into the circle or dive into the flow of absolute perfection where the winds of love blow. I'm more than good enough, so say it till you know. As you believe, it will be done. As you believe, it will be done. As I know it's early, but we can sing it. As you believe, it will be done. As you believe. One more. As you believe, it will be done. As you believe. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate that.
See what happens when I'm gone 2 weeks? I forget the procedure. I'm sorry. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see you. Morning. If we haven't met, I'm Reverend Jan Mourning, and it is my absolute honor to serve as minister here at First Unity Church of St. Louis. I just want you to know, if you're a first-time guest, whether you're in the house or whether you're watching online, we absolutely welcome you. We are an unapologetically spiritual, inclusive community, which simply means wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you have been, you are unequivocally welcome here. No questions asked. We just are open and want to be receptive to everybody. So if you are in-house, there is a guest information card in the pew in front of you. And if you'd like to fill it out, we will not harass you in any way. But on the back are some questions if you're new to the area or if you need to speak to a minister. And one of the choices is that you would like to receive a complimentary year subscription to our Daily Word magazine, which you'll hear from in a few minutes from our prayer chaplain. And if you want to fill that out, you can put the offering in the box in the back, or you can simply hand it to an usher on your way out the door. So if you're watching online, we extend the same offer to you. Just find the Contact Us section on our unitystl.org website, and we would be happy to start a year subscription for you also. And if you're in need of prayer and you're in-house, we have a highly trained prayer chaplain, Mary Tumanello, over there, and she will be available after service to pray with you about anything on your heart. If you are watching online, we offer you the same service. We'll just put your name and prayer request down, and we will hold you in prayer for 30 days. So that's we're all about prayer around here. Before we go to upcoming events, I have a couple announcements, or a couple really messages of gratitude. One is for everyone who contributed coats to our recent coat drive. I don't think we've ever collected so much winter wear. And so thanks to Hope Dotson and Larry Gibbs, who I think made 2 or 3 trips over to feed my people with them, and I'm sure that they're going to, the cold weather's coming back for a little while, and then people will be warm because of your donation. So thank you for that. And also kudos to Patricia Reese, who is not here. She's in Arizona, but she does our newsletter from afar, and it went out right on time this morning, and to Carol Ellerman, who helps edit that newsletter. So now for upcoming events, they are on the screen. You can also find them on our website, in the newsletter, and on our Facebook page. So really, March, the only thing we have immediately is today is the day that we're beginning to sell Easter lilies, and they're $10 a piece, and you can buy one in memory or honor of a loved one. And the way this works, they arrive to us right before Easter, and we grace our altar with them, and they look really pretty, and then you can take them home Easter Sunday. So if you walk out the door to the left, there's a table, and there are the forms there to fill out if you want to do cash or check. If you want to pay electronically, go into the bookstore, and they'll use the little machine. So that's it. The other March dates are coming up. You can check those. And yes, I did know when St. Patrick's Day was, by the way. I think I had the 16th on the screen last week. I apologize for that. But you can see the rest of the week, or rest of the month. And I'd like everybody to take a look at those save the dates, and hopefully they're already on your calendar. The Jazz Orchestra concert and dinner will be at 6 p.m. on the 17th. The 21st, we're meeting at Maggie O'Brien's, and this is a great deal for us. They're a locally owned business, and so they actually give us 25% of all the profits of a four-hour period, and doesn't have to be anybody from the church. There's no code or no, they just do that, and they even include alcoholic beverages. So it will be a really nice fun and fundraiser for us. So, and if you walk out the door, the same place where the little forms are for the lilies, you will find a really pretty flyer that Patricia Reese has designed, and if you want to take 1 or 2 of them with you and share them with friends or neighbors or family, that would be great. So then, of course, the 22nd, we have another big spring concert, and we'll be having that, more details about that a little bit later. So finally, if you would like a record of your 2025 donations for tax purposes, there's a sign-up sheet in the lobby for that also. So at this time, I'd like to ask everyone to stand, if you're willing and able, for our new March song of the month, I Release and I Let Go, perfect song for Lent, by Ricky Byers and Michael Beckwith. This will be led by our wonderful Katie Michaelis and accompanied by Steve. Thank you both, and please sing along.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life and my heart. let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Wow, that'll wake us up, won't it? Hi, my name is Mary Tumanello, and I have the privilege of being your prayer chaplain this morning. I will be over by the window after the service to pray with you on anything that is on your heart. And as always, all prayers are kept confidential. Our word today is illumination. I walk with faith along with the path of light. Would you say that with me? I walk with faith along the path of light. When someone gets a flash of insight or makes a sudden realization, it is often said a light bulb has gone off. It is no surprise that growing in understanding is likened to light, which brings brightness and clarity to what was once obscured and darkness. I am grateful for the illumination I have received as I have traveled the divine path. My spiritual growth may not always be easy, and I will never stop learning and discovering, but there is such value in the journey itself. Those moments I feel newly close to God. Those times when the divine within helps me make a better choice, and those precious flashes of pure love and light. I welcome my ongoing illumination, knowing the light I seek is already within me. And from Psalms 18:28, it is you who light my lamp. The Lord, my God, lights up my darkness. Let us pray. Let us take a deep breath, and as we let it out, feel that light, that illumination just come up to us. In our humanness, we see problems and darkness. Take that cover off, because darkness is only the lack of light. So when you remove that cover, the light just shines to guide you down the path to just what you dream about and just what you wish for. All things are possible, and so it is. Amen.
Yeah, all things are possible. That's for sure. Now it's my Father's business that I'm here about. And I'm finding my focus, and mindfully I'm breathing in and breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And I'm thinking of a possibility, a fresh new reality, and all that's left to wonder, all that's left to wonder, all that's left to wonder is how great it's gonna be, how great it's gonna be, how great it's gonna be. See the water crashing, dancing, splashing down a rocky mountainside. See the cotton clouds sail across the soft summer sky. Yeah. Or maybe gaze into the mist while it rises off an early morning lake. There are no signs of a struggle I ever have to undertake. Yes, and I'm thinking of a possibility, a fresh new reality, and all that's left to wonder, all that's left to wonder, all that's left to wonder is how great it all gonna be, how great it all must be, how great it all must be. No hand is empty and no heart is cold. No heart is empty, no heart is cold. No hand is empty, no heart is cold. And I'm thinking of a possibility, a fresh new reality, yeah. All that's left to wonder, all that's left to wonder, all that's left to wonder is how wonderful, how marvelous, how radiant, how glorious, how beautiful, how luminous, how wonderful, how wondrous, how bright, how bold, how perfect, how whole, how great it's all gonna be. How bright, how bold, how perfect, how whole, how great it's all got to be.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian, for your beautiful music today, all composed by him. I'm amazed. You're amazing. So today we continue with our series on the little book, The Lazarus Blueprint, Ancient Secrets for Healing and Inner Peace, written by two Unity ministers, Reverend Mary Alice and Richard Jafala. In this powerful little book, the authors give us a unique 6-print blueprint for just overcoming life challenges, and that's really discerned from the story of the raising of Lazarus in the book of John. So if you are just joining our series for the first time, or because we've had a little hiatus from it while I was out of town, I just invite you to think of a problem that you may have been struggling with, or maybe a dream that you've put on hold, and be willing to use the Lazarus Blueprint to bring it to a good outcome. Unity is all about practical principles to enrich our lives, and we see the Bible as a valuable spiritual resource. We look beyond the literal details, actually, to see each character, each event, and each place representing an aspect of our own spiritual growth. So we're going to do a quick review. Step 1 is based on the beginning of the story in John chapter 11, when Jesus gets word that his dear friend Lazarus from Bethany is critically ill. And instead of going directly to him, as we all would expect, Jesus waits 2 full days right where he is, before making the journey to Bethany. So in our human minds, step number 1 just seems counterintuitive. It is turn away, turn away. Now, this does not mean that we ignore the problem. We probably could not do that. But it does mean that we don't panic or dwell on it. We give ourselves a little space from it. And the authors say this step actually runs throughout the entire blueprint. So you can just really do it with each step. So step 2 then is roll away the stone. The huge stone in front of Lazarus' grave symbolizes something in our own consciousness that needs to be rolled away in order for us to live the life that we deserve and desire. Now, the stone is never an outward person or a situation, but rather it's an inner state of mind. Someone once said to me, I rolled my stone away and it rolled back. So this may not be a once and done process. If this has been a stone you've had for a long time, it may take some time to work through it. So we're going to pick the Lazarus story up today as Jesus finally does arrive in Bethany and is taken to the burial cave. He looks at the gigantic stone covering the entrance and he declares, "Roll away the stone." The Japhalas capture the scene. By now, the crowd gathered at the tomb is in an uproar. The scorching air is abuzz with barbs and confusion. It's as if they are saying, "We all know this is an impossible situation. Lazarus has been dead in that cave for 2 days. What's wrong with this man, Jesus? He has taken leave of his senses." And the Japhalas say, "Bingo. Bingo, that is exactly what Jesus does and what he is showing us to do, to take leave of our senses, to realize that things are not always as they appear. Our senses do not always reveal the whole truth. This is where Jesus reveals the next step in the blueprint. To the sisters and the crowd, he says, "Did I not tell you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. Clearly, Jesus is saying, don't judge this situation with your physical eyesight. Look beyond it. Become aware of the unlimited intelligence in the universe, always, always working on your behalf. Our expectations actually carry great power. Step number 3 is great expectations, and it's based on believe. Believe and expect the best outcome. Believe it is already yours. The authors remind us that the human eye can only see objects that reflect light waves between infrared and ultraviolet, and that is a mere 1% of the vast electromagnetic spectrum, which means that we actually cannot see 99% of what's going on in the world anyway, even if we have good eyesight. And likewise, the human ear hears vibrations in only a limited range compared to a cat who can hear sounds from a range almost 40% greater than we can. Actually, trust me, it's very difficult to sneak up on a cat, especially when you're trying to get it to the vet. I know, okay? And we don't want to leave out our canine friends either. Dogs can detect scents that are 1,000 times fainter than we can detect. So every time, and I had the pleasure of doing this last week, or a week before last, every time I have the opportunity to stand on a beach and look in the sunshine, I understand why for thousands of years most people thought that the earth was flat. This was a logical assumption based on what the ancients could see. The point is that our human senses, not just sight, but all of them, are really inadequate monitors of our physical world. And we've talked about this piece before. Eyewitness testimony historically is among the most convincing forms of evidence in criminal trials, but convincing does not always mean accurate. Research and DNA analysis show us that many eyewitness accounts are unconsciously distorted, and faulty memory is only one of the reasons. Often we see through a lens of personal judgment. It is much easier to see a person as doing something dishonest if we already believe he or she to be a thief. So what we believe really controls what we see. And therefore, the authors say, don't rely on the unreliable. As you observe your own life, notice how your physical senses might be doggedly bent on convincing you that you have a major problem. For example, maybe you've seen it on an x-ray. Maybe you've heard a frightening diagnosis. Maybe you've even felt it in your body. Or like our co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore, maybe you've been conditioned to believe you inherited a disease. Whatever is threatening you is most likely loaded with sensory input, all negative and not necessarily true. There's an old saying that seeing is believing, and a lot of people believe that. But truly, believing is seeing. Because our senses continually bombard us with so much information, we can't possibly take it all in. That's especially true now in the technological age. So what we do is we filter that data through our own thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions about the world. We take in what supports our beliefs, and we either ignore or discount the rest. Many of you know the story about Phil, who had two new neighbors move in, one on the right and one on the left. So one day, the neighbor on the left came over, and he said, "Oh, I'd like to know more about the neighborhood. What are the people like here?" He said, "The reason I'm asking is we had such beloved neighbors at our old house. They were just cooperative and always helping one another, and we are missing them a lot." And Phil looked at the new neighbor, and he said, "Good news, friend. That's exactly what you will find here." Well, the very next day, the neighbor on the right came over, and he asked the same question, but he had a really mean look on his face. And he said, "What are the neighbors like here? In my old neighborhood, they were horrible. They were absolutely unfriendly. They didn't help each other, and we are very glad to be rid of them." And Phil looked at that neighbor, and he said, "I've got bad news for you, friend. That's exactly what you're going to find here." And it's our attitude that makes all the difference. It's our attitude. Unity Minister Reverend Eric Butterworth famously said, "We see things not as they are, but we see them as we are." Modern science actually proves this to be true. From all the data out there, we tend to focus on what we already expect. So surely, back to our story, that man who believed that all his neighbors were losers, that's exactly what he called them, would probably behave in kind of a distant, guarded manner. And if a woman across the street rushed over to her car one day without saying hello, neighbor number 2 would think, "What an unfriendly, stuck-up jerk. I won't greet her again." Neighbor number 1, seeing exactly the same data, same thing, but filtering it through different beliefs about people, might give a quick wave and say, "Gosh, she must be late to work. I hope she gets there safely. I'll say a prayer." So it's just two people filtering the same event differently. What we consider as facts are filtered through our preconceptions. Our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs actually determine, as we said, the data we take in. It has been said, choose your beliefs carefully, they become your reality. And of course, our 5 senses, to be fair, can play a role in warning us of immediate physical dangers. They're good for that. But when it comes to complex life issues where universal spiritual principles operate, we have to look beyond our senses. Walt Whitman said, I love this quote, "We are not all included between our hats and our boots." The point is that even if our bodies have a temporary physical challenge, we are more than our bodies. We also have spiritual, mental, and emotional powers. We can look beyond our senses to a greater reality of godness and goodness always. This is what Jesus shows when he ignores the grumbling crowd and commands that huge stone to be rolled away. His words are clear. "Didn't I tell you, if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" Our authors say this truth is a timeless spiritual principle. We tend to experience what we expect. Expectations gather a tremendous vortex of power and energy that draws us to people, circumstances, and even bodily changes that support our expectations. Jesus told us, "According to your faith, let it be done to you." Expectations have everything to do with faith. Have you ever heard people say, "I lost my faith"? I have heard that. The truth is, we can never lose our faith. We always have it. It's one of our 12 powers. It's just a matter of where we place our faith. We can put faith in a dismal diagnosis or in innate wholeness, in hatred or love, in misery or joy, in the best of humankind or in the worst, in getting even or finding common ground, in lack or abundance. The authors ask, in effect, what do you expect? Something positive or something negative? The universe will respond. Remember, this is a unity saying, where focus goes, energy flows. Quantum physics tells us that at any given moment, there are an infinite number of possibilities that might unfold, and like energies attract like. We attract ourselves to what we expect. Knowing this, it's critical to create strong positive expectations. If we don't, it's too easy to default to the thoughts and attitudes of the world as represented by the crowd in the story, the gloom and doom of the daily news, and that negative buzz all around us. Paul wrote to the Hebrews, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, meaning that absolute knowing of things not seen. All that we desire is already ours in the absolute realm of spirit. This is Jesus' message to those at the Lazarus tomb, and this is Jesus' message to us today. Faith is even more powerful when combined with another spiritual power, and that would be the power of imagination, the power to visualize and not just see it, but feel the joy that you're going to feel when your problem is resolved. Just feel it in your heart and in your soul. In the book Secrets of the Lost Mode of Prayer, Greg Braden shares a story about an indigenous friend, Dave, who invited Greg to go with him to a sacred place in New Mexico to pray for an end to a terrible drought that the village was undergoing. So they drove into the hills, and they came to this spot where there was an ancient medicine wheel on the ground, and Greg watched his friend remove his shoes, step into the circle, walk through the inner part of the circle, blessing all of his ancestors, and finally go to the middle of the circle, stand still for just a very few moments, and then he stepped out. He put his shoes back on. He said to Greg, "Come on, I'm hungry. Let's go to lunch." And Greg said, "Well, wait a minute. I thought we came here to pray for rain." And he said back, "You know what? We didn't come here to pray for rain. We came here to pray rain." And there's a difference. If you pray for something, then you're actually believing it's not there in this now moment. That's the faith part. Knowing. Here's the imagination part. Dave, I'm going to read this word for word because I don't want to get it wrong. Dave explained, "When I closed my eyes, I saw myself standing with bare feet in the mud of my Pueblo village. I smelled the rainwater rolling off the earthen walls of my home, and I felt the pure joy of walking through a field of corn chest high as a result of all the rain that had fallen." Notice it's believing, visualizing, and feeling the outcome. And although faith, like God, is limitless, our thoughts and feelings can create artificial boundaries that block it. For example, faith in unlimited prosperity can be limited by thinking and feeling, "I could never afford that." Or faith in your own wholeness could be limited by, "I know I'll inherit my father's disease." You know, all that self-talk that we give ourselves. Whatever our desire, our thoughts and feelings matter. They matter tremendously. Jesus told us, if you believe, you will receive. The authors ask, concerning whatever challenge it is that you're working on in the moment, what have you been expecting to happen? That's our question of the day. What have you been expecting to happen? Take an honest look at the direction of your expectations. Where your faith is pointing, that is where you are likely headed. Reverend Michael Beckwith advises, develop a sense of awe at the infinite possibilities of goodness that are ahead. Expecting the good even before it is visible is faith pointed in the right direction. So at every stage of working through this process, through our individual problems and challenges, we have to stop and ask ourselves our question, am I expecting the best? So the story continues into step 4, and step 3 and 4 are very closely related. The great stone has been rolled away. The crowd stands silent, all eyes riveted on the healer from Nazareth. The desert atmosphere is charged with electricity as Jesus looks upward and says, "Thank you, Father, for having heard me. I know that you always hear me, but I say this for the sake of the crowd standing here, so they might believe." And the Jafala's right, hold on. You may say, giving thanks. Giving thanks for what? Nothing has happened yet. The stone has been rolled away, but there's no sign of life coming from the cave. Step 4 is upfront thanks. Expressing thanks for a favor received is just good manners, right? But expressing thanks for something that's not yet visible in your life, that is a testimony of true faith. It has been said that gratitude in advance is the most powerful creative force in the universe. The authors remind us that true gratitude is actually an emotion. As powerful as words can be, they are not enough unless they lead us into that beautiful feeling of being grateful. Feelings activate our powers and move us forward. The authors say it's an inside job. not something others can give you or anything you can get from the outer world. Your responsibility is to ignite feelings within yourself. Sincerely expressing upfront thanks opens the door to what might seem impossible. The cells of your body are more likely to respond and regenerate when they know you appreciate and love them. That's what our co-founder Myrtle Fillmore did in her healing. If you want healing in your physical body, praise the life and health you already have, and the intelligence within your cells will create even greater wholeness and well-being. And that's from the Japhalas. So Jesus dramatically demonstrates upfront thanks several times in his ministry, showing us that true gratitude is not a reaction. It's like prayer. It's positive, creative, causative energy. One of the most well-known of these gospel examples is the story of the feeding of 5,000, which, by the way, is the only one of Jesus' miracles that is highlighted in all four gospels. And they have some differences, but there's one common element, and that is before Jesus multiplies the loaves and fishes, he looks up and gives thanks for the seemingly meager supply of 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Then enough food materializes to feed 5,000 people, with 12 baskets full of broken pieces left over. More than enough. More than enough. Jesus looks beyond the appearance of lack to the eternal source and substance of God, and he gives thanks in advance, knowing that that good is forthcoming. In both the Lazarus story and this one, Jesus looking up does not mean he's looking up to some external deity in the sky. It simply means he's looking up. Metaphysically, looking up means shifting to higher consciousness, getting out of our human skins to our spiritual knowledge. The Japhalas say, and we're going to end with this today, the Japhalas say, well, there you have it. Believe, expect the best, and you will witness the creative process at work in your life without your controlling the how. That's important. We have to be willing to leave the how up to God. They continue, you will be guided. Believe, expect the best, give upfront thanks, and get out of the way so God's mysterious power can go about healing whatever in your life needs to be healed. And so it is. So let's take a moment now just to affirm the great presence and power that makes all this possible together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and at work in my life. God, the good, omnipotent, and so it is.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God.
And so now I invite you to close your outer eyes if you have not already done so, and that is comfortable. Hold your breath. Take a deep breath. Hold it for just a few seconds, and then gently, slowly exhale. Relax your body, still your mind, and just be willing to be in the presence of the divine. Take another deep breath, moving even more deeply into that inner sanctuary of your own soul, that place of pure peace, pure light, pure divine love. And as you exhale this time, just release anything that is keeping you from being fully present to this now moment. And as you continue breathing normally, set the intention just to be. In this quiet, sacred time, know that that perfect energy we call God surrounds you, enfolds you, and expresses as you. God's will for you is ever unfolding good, ever unfolding peace, ever unfolding joy. You are, all of us are, one with the Most High. You are worthy, you are loved. All the powers of the Christ are your divine inheritance. Faith, love, strength, imagination, wisdom, and all the rest. So in this consciousness, I invite you to bring into your mind's eye the problem you have been working through using the Lazarus blueprint. And let's remember what Jesus said about it. Did I not tell you, believe, believe, and you will see the glory of God. Hear this message now in your own subconscious mind. Your inner wisdom is speaking to you and guiding you. It is that small voice, still small voice inside, pointing you to the resolution of your challenge, coaching you gently to trust and expect the best, and to give upfront thanks even before the challenge is resolved. Treasure your inner wisdom and what it tells you. Know that you are absolutely worthy. You are worthy of your desires, and the holy energy wants to give them to you. So for this moment, treasure that wisdom, what it tells you now, for a few moments in the silence. And so now, as we come back together as a greater spiritual community, we joyfully celebrate this moment. We have faith that we can turn our pivotal souls away from any earthly challenges and conditions of this outer world to the love and goodness of God. We name this and we claim this through the power of the Christ, and we say, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
So this song was written for this service, which means it's the first time it's ever been played. So I think you might like how well it fits. Oh, put the right one up. Who needs them? Let the faith inside you grow like the seed you chose to sow. Think as if you know that it's already so, and feel it in your heart. Feel it in your heart. Creation spark will start when you feel it in your heart. Feel it in your heart. Come on and feel it in your heart. Creation spark will begin to start when you feel it in your heart. Tell yourself it is. Tell yourself I am. Anticipate it now. Go ahead and write it down and feel it in your heart. Feel it in your heart. Creation it in your heart. Come on, feel it in your heart. Feel it in your heart. Creation will begin to start when you feel it in your heart. You feeling that? Yeah. You've already won. Your race already run. Grateful even now that you're gonna rise somehow. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your heart. Creation starts when you feel it in your heart. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your heart. Creation will start when you feel it in your heart. Creation will start when you feel it in your heart. Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. That was beautiful, and we are honored to be the first to ever hear it. Thank you so much. So I have other thanks to give, and that is thank you, Katie Miklas, for being such a wonderful song leader. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, Steve Schenkel, for bringing all this wonderful musical talent to us every single week. And thank you, Jeremiah Bircher, for keeping us all going. Let's give him a hand, too. Thank you all. So now it's that time in our service where we come to the place where we just pause, reflect, and just give thanks for our many blessings. We appreciate your financial donations, as we do depend on them, to fulfill our mission of enriching more and more lives in our spiritual community and in the greater community. For everyone, contributions can be made by Apple Pay, PayPal, or Google Pay. Just hit the donate button on our unistl.org website or on our YouTube channel. And we still accept checks and cash, dropped off or in the mail. So knowing we are one with divine source and each other, please join me in our prosperity prayer. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We affirm that God is our source, and we are grateful for prosperity in our personal lives and in our spiritual community. And for those of you in house, there's a box in the back for tithes and offerings, so we thank you in advance for that. And so I invite everybody now, if you're willing and able, to stand for our prayer for protection. This is the version of the prayer for protection that honors the power of God and also our own divine identity. Together, the light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. The presence indwells us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you all for joining our service today. We really appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you next week. As a vibrant, inclusive spiritual community, we come together to just be oneness of spirit and to support one another in expressing godness and goodness in the world. Please do come downstairs after service for a coffee and conversation. We'd love to see you. And we will end today's service with one of my very favorite songs, Witness by Daniel Nahmod, led by Katie and accompanied by Steve. Thank you both.
This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all that I'm meant to be. This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all will bear